welcome back. Today is the second part on buying your first gun. However, we're going to be focusing more on buying your first gun in California. In the state of California, in order to purchase a firearm, you need to be a resident as well as 21 years of age. Some exceptions to this rule do apply. For example, if you're between 18 and 20 years old, you can purchase a long gun. If you have an approved hunting license, you're an approved peace officer, or you're an active federal officer or a law enforcement officer who's authorized to carry a firearm. So now at this point, you know what gun you want to buy as your first gun. Before you head over to the store, you're going to want to make sure that you check the California roster. The California roster is going to be a list of firearms that are pre-approved for sale in California. There are firearms that aren't listed on there that you can purchase. However, those are known as LEO firearms, or law enforcement only firearms. What that means is basically only law enforcement can purchase those guns. Now, don't worry, there's still other ways that you can get those firearms that aren't on the California roster. However, we're not going to be going into that specifically in this video. Don't worry, I'm going to have a list in the description for the California roster. At the end of the video, I'm also going to have an itemized list of everything that you need to know for purchasing a firearm in California with links included. That way you can just copy paste and find everything that you need to prepare yourself to purchase that firearm. So once you made sure that your firearm is on that California roster, you're gonna wanna head over to the store. There's still quite a few things that need to be accomplished before you can take that firearm home. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do when you get to that store is to purchase your firearm safety certificate test. The firearm safety certificate test is gonna be 30 questions where you have to answer with a 75%. That's approximately 23 out of those 30 questions correct. That test is going to demonstrate your proficiency in firearm knowledge and safety handling. That test also costs $25 for 2 tests. If you don't complete the test within 2 tries, you're gonna have to pay an additional $25 to take it a 3rd time. I'm also gonna attach links to study guides for you to successfully be able to pass that test in the description below. Also, remember, it's going to be on that list at the end of this video. So now you pass that test, you're going to be able to go to the counter and continue with your transaction. You're going to want to have proof of residency. For one, this is going to be your California driver's license. At the very top right corner, you're going to want to make sure if it has a golden bear or if it has federal limits apply. If it has a golden bear, that means that it's a real ID. If it's a real ID, you're gonna need one more proof of residency. This could be something like a utility bill or vehicle registration. If it doesn't have the golden bear and it has federal limits apply, that basically means that you're gonna have to show another proof of identification. This identification is gonna be something like a birth certificate or a permanent residency card or even something like a passport. Once you have that documentation, you're gonna be able to fill out all your paperwork. Your paperwork is going to consist of your DROS. Your DROS is your dealer record of sale. This is basically going to be the paperwork that's submitted to the DOJ or the Department of Justice, and it's going to be your background check. So yes, you do have to have a clean background in order to purchase a firearm in California. If you have something like a felony or some type of domestic violence restraining order, you're not going to be able to purchase a firearm. If you don't have any of that stuff, then you're going to want to continue filling out that paperwork. You're going to sign this paperwork as well as submit your fingerprints. You're going to have to pay not only your firearm, you're also going to have to pay your taxes for that firearm as well as the DROS fees. Once you pay that and it's all submitted, you're going to have a 10-day waiting period to pick up that firearm. Basically what that 10-day waiting period is, it's 10 24-hour days. What that means is if your paperwork was submitted on November 8th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you cannot pick up that firearm until November 18th, 3 o'clock that afternoon. You cannot pick it up before that time. So now you go home and you wait those 10 days. Once that 10-day waiting period is completed, you can come back to the store and pick up that firearm. But before you pick up that firearm and it's given to you, you're gonna have to perform a safety handling demonstration. This safety handling demonstration is gonna be you demonstrating that you know how to safely handle this firearm in front of a DOJ certified instructor. don't worry, if you don't specifically know how to use that firearm, they'll teach you. They'll be using non-live rounds or dummy rounds to show you how to basically do things like unload the firearm, load the firearm, make sure that there's nothing in the firearm, which we call clearing the firearm. So once all that is complete and you've demonstrated that you know how to handle that gun, you'll be able to take that home. But it doesn't stop there. I highly recommend that you purchase at least a few hundred rounds so that you can take that firearm and shoot it at the firing range so that you can become as proficient as possible with that gun. And not only purchase live rounds, but also dummy rounds. They do sell those at the store so that you can practice at home, loading, unloading, working through misfires, and clearing that gun. The more proficient and comfortable you are with that firearm, the safer it's going to be for you and anybody around you. Keep in mind, this is still a very dangerous piece of equipment and you have to treat it with that kind of responsibility. Make sure you always keep in mind your 4 basic firearm rules. Number 1, always keep that firearm pointed in a safe direction. Number 2, treat all guns as if they are loaded. Number 3, keep your finger off of the trigger until you're ready to shoot. And number 4, always be sure of your target and what's beyond it. That's right, a bullet doesn't just stop at your target, but it can continue going past it, so always make sure you know what's behind it and around it. In further videos, I'll be going over other safety things that you need to take into consideration or things that you can purchase to have either in your house or at the shooting range. I hope this video helped you guys in understanding the process of buying a firearm in the state of California. Hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell so that you guys can be notified when later videos drop. With your guys' support, I'll be able to continue posting more content like this more frequently and hopefully answer a lot of your guys' questions.